Hi, this is Arthur Pearlie Martin, and I dropped in the X question. How can two walk together except they both agree? Now, a lot of times when we talk about this, we usually think about it in relationships and things like this, but this really transcends in every area of our lives, right? Whoever you hang with evil become evil, hang with wise become wise. How is this? How does this work? You know, we teach our children this all the time. Well, don't hang with them because they like to get in trouble. And if you hang with them, you know, you'll get in trouble. And really, what are we saying? Hang with wise, evil become evil, hang with wise become wise. Okay, so, but what is it? How can two walk together except they both agree? Well, Jesus walked in total submission and total agreement with his Father. As a matter of fact, he says, I only do what I see my Father do. I only say what I hear my Father say, right? He was walking, he was one with the Father because he was in total agreement with him. How can the two walk together except they both agree? So know this, that when you to come into agreement with something, when you come into agreement with it, the only way you can fellowship with a spirit is to come into agreement with that spirit. That's why Jesus said, if you say that you have fellowship with me, and then you still walk in the darkness, you are lying, the truth is not in you. Why? Because to fellowship with the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, is to come into agreement with him. So if I say that I have fellowship with him, then I should be living a lifestyle that's in agreement with him. I'm talking about a lifestyle, not falling down, getting up. I'm saying I should be living to walk in fellowship with someone. You have to walk in agreement with them. This is good or evil. Hang with wise, become wise. Hang with evil, become evil. So know that the next time that you consider the spirit that you're coming into agreement. When you come into an agreement with a lie, then you walk in agreement with that lie. How can two walk together except they both agree? And this is why I tell people sometimes, no answer is an answer. So if you don't stand for something, you really will stand for anything. But you are standing for something when you stand for nothing. You're standing for for whatever. We can't live that compromised lifestyle, that lukewarm lifestyle. We really have to pick a side, and we have to stand up and decide if we're going to live for Jesus Christ, no matter who's around, no matter what's around. We no longer being intimidated by the opinion of people, no longer being intimidated by the crowd, no longer being intimidated by what you think or whatever. But how can two walk together except they both agree? What fellowship, when we're talking about marriage and relationship, what fellowship does light have with darkness? You know, if you're a believer and you get with an unbeliever, you're not going to have fellowship. You may have some natural things in common, but when it comes to spiritual things, you'll have the carnal things. I like football, they like football. But when it comes to spiritual things, like I want to tithe, but they see it as giving it to the pastor. They don't see it as giving it to God. You know, how can two walk together? The natural mind cannot understand the things of God, for they are spiritually discerned. The carnal mind cannot comprehend. I don't know about you, but before I became a believer, the Bible to me was like a whole complete language, different language. I couldn't understand a word of it because the enemy, the God of this world, had me blind, and I could not see, and I did not understand because God was not my Father, because I did not have the Spirit of God. So he who has not the Spirit of God is not his. But let's get back to this. So how can two walk together except they both agree? So if you're evil, if a person is evil, being evil and wicked, and if you put yourself up under them, the only way you can walk in agreement with them is to walk in agreement. What you're going to do is you have to come into agreement with that spirit that's on them. That's how you walk in agreement. Hitler, you know, those guys that was under him, they was walking in agreement with him. You know, even if they was too afraid to do anything, still, when you put yourself up under submission to something or someone, that job or whatever, you know, if they're asking you to do things that's not right or is against your conviction, then you don't walk in agreement with those things. How can two walk together if you